Hey everyone, this is Randy from BibleBindGuide.com. Today I'm taking a look at the NRSV Thinline in large print from Zondervan. This is in imitation leather, brown imitation. Looks really nice. This is not the type of cover that's going to last forever and ever, but it'll last, a year or so. And it's a good budget model, so it's really good if you just need a budget model, if you're starting out, or if you just need something to carry. I love the look of this cover. I love that grain. Grain is beautiful. Two shades of brown. This is a little bit of a rough texture, and this is a smoother texture sewn into it. And then the material information on the spine is like dry stamped. Looks really nice, perimeter stitched. I love the look of that. Paper liner, paste down, and the liner itself is the presentation page. That's the only thick end sheet, so there's not a lot of structure there. It is Smythe sewn. Two nice ribbons, and they match the design well. I love those ribbons, really nice. The paper itself is in the mid-30s, I think. Has a rough texture, so it's not a premium paper. And it's decently opaque. It looks better in some lighting than others. In this lighting, doesn't look as nice as it does when I was sitting in the living room. And it's designed by 2K Denmark. The typeface is made in China. And under certain lighting, it looks better than others. The opacity shows through a little bit more right here, but still, it looks really nice. Has a lot of space in the margin, inner margin, to help bring it out of the gutter. I find the pages easy to grab and turn. No glare under direct light. And then there's our text. 12.4 font, and it does look close to 12 in that range. It's a large print. Looks really nice. Paragraph setting. The first verse of each paragraph has an extra large verse number, but then all the verses within it are small. These are a little bit more difficult to find, but if you're looking for like 22, you see 20 and 24. You can see those really fast, and so you can find that 22 is in there somewhere. It's not that hard to find, but I do find them a little bit more difficult to find as far as just looking for verses. I love the design though. Lots of little finished look. The footnotes are in the bottom right corner, no matter what page they go to. Here's an example. There's the footnotes in the bottom right corner, even though these go to this verse over here. The only exception is when the footnotes, or when the book ends on this page, on the left page. But poetic setting looks really nice in this. Everything's indented. It does an extra indentation where the line, where it normally would have fit here. It's under here. It has about 7 words across, 7, 8 words, which normally wouldn't give a good look for poetic setting, but they break the poetry in a good spot, in a good location. They break it in a good thought each time. Section headings are bold. And then across the top we have a decorative line, and that line matches down here on the footnotes. Have a decorative line, and then page number, book name, chapter number, verse number. I find this a really good read. A really good read. Easy to read. I read quite a bit of this, and it's comfortable to read. The only thing that kind of stands out to me, I just passed one. If I pass another, I'll point it out. The letter G. It's not my favorite letter. That's not my favorite design. That stands out to me from everything else. It just looks a little bit odd. Not that I don't like it. It's just that it looks a little odd. That's just my personal opinion. Everything else about this though is nice. And then poetic setting. And they do break the thoughts in good spots each time. They do really good with this. Excellent. And this is a black letter edition. No references. This is just a text with footnotes. So there is our New Testament poetic setting. So it is black letter. Book of Acts is a good place to see poetry in the New Testament. So is Mark, Luke. There's a lot more poetry in the New Testament than what we typically see. So they do the indentation there. This is good paper for writing, for note-taking. Around mid-30s, I think. White in color. This block itself, I think, is a good block if you wanted to rebind this. If you're a rebinder, if you like, buying Bibles and creating your own premiums, I would recommend doing that with this one. This is a good Bible for that. Another thing I like about the book of Acts, Acts 2, is where you can see how it handles Old Testament quotes. Like that's an Old Testament quote. It doesn't give you the reference. That's the only thing in the notes. It doesn't give you the reference from where something is quoted from. It does give you the Greek words, some Hebrew words, and things along that line. It gives you alternate renderings, explanations, and that sort of thing. It'll mention other manuscripts. Sometimes it doesn't mention what the manuscripts are. It'll just say other ancient authorities, like this right here. Other ancient authorities, but it doesn't tell you what they are. And then it will say Peshitta and some other, like Syriac and some other things like that. So it's a little bit of both. And then in the very back, we have a reading plan. Now this is an interesting reading plan. It doesn't say read this in 1 year. It gives you different options of how you can go about reading it. You can read it in 1 year, you can read it in 3 years or 2 years or whatever you want to do. And it gives you the information about how to go about it. And then you mark off each one. Now what I would do if I was marking this off, I would like maybe use a green 1 year and I would mark the bottom corner. And then the next year I would use a blue and I'd mark the top corner. That way I could keep using this over and over. But yeah, they give you the information you need to develop your own reading plan or read it in a way that works for you. It has the box for each chapter of the Bible to mark off. Then we have Miracles of Jesus and Parables of Jesus. And these are just really good tables. These are good for study, for sermon prep. And then Perspectives from the Bible. So this is things like, if you've been quarreling, situations. And then it gives you scriptures for those situations where you can just look up and see. And it gives quite a bit. And they're not just a verse. They're like a complete chapter or a complete passage, a complete thought. So they finish out the thought. And then Prayers of the Bible. And that just lists out what all the prayers are. And it gives a description. And then the references. And then Promises from the Bible. And this is situations when you're depressed or when you're sick or things like that, confused, afraid. Gives you the references. And then in the very back we have a few pages for notes. And it's not many, I think it's like 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then finally we end up with our end sheet and then the information about the typeface. And this is designed by 2K Denmark. The typeface is, and it was designed specifically for the NRSV, New Revised Standard Version. So anyway, I like that a lot. This was provided by Zondervan in exchange for an honest review. And then I'll post some links in the notes where you can see the written review on BibleBuyingGuide.com if you want more information. And then also I'll post some links so that you can make a purchase. I do like this Bible a lot and I highly recommend it. It's excellent for its price. And it's a good size. Let's go ahead and measure and weigh the thing too while we're at it. I haven't done that yet. We have 6.5 by 9.5 by 1. So this is a true thin line. See how heavy we got here. See what kind of weight we got on this thing. 1 pound, 11.9 ounces. 1 pound, 11.9 ounces. So yeah, that's a great Bible. Great size for holding and carry. Holding open to read. It stays open to read with no trouble at all. Now, will need a little bit of more breaking in to stay open in Genesis. I've used this for a while, but it still doesn't want to stay open in Genesis. And you can see the line matching. Didn't mention that before either. But you can see the line matching, how it does make the opacity easier to read. This paper is opaque enough for its text and its darkness. It's a good dark font, dark all the way through, consistent all the way through. So I'll post some links. If you have any questions, let me know. Thanks for watching.